vision that he left. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Isa alayhi salam, some 2,000 years ago, left for his Hawariyin, his followers, which was supposedly about a dozen or so, a last meal where he broke a piece of bread and he distributed to them, and that he took a goblet of drink and split it up so everybody could have a sip or whatever came his way. That became the living tradition among Christians, because that is what he left for them. And they commemorate that every weekend, and probably more often than that, in the form of a mass. He also talked to them, so the sermon is a part of that. Masih Maud left us many things, but what I want to talk about is the Jalsa Salana. It is something he instituted, he started, and he asked that Ahmadis, his followers, people who have done his bad, they should strive to come to the Jalsa every year at about those dates, which were decided at that time because of the calendar, the way it was set. We are choosing to choose a different calendar, but we are doing the same thing. So I want to congratulate everyone who's here for this Jalsa. I think it is, mashallah, a very good reflection of how we feel about ourselves, about Masih Maud and about Jamaat-e Ahmadiyya, that we are coming in larger and larger numbers. Not only that, the fact that there is such a strong desire to do volunteer work for this Jalsa. There is no way this Jalsa could be held the way it is held unless people volunteer with dedication. And I know some you can see volunteering, others you don't. But just about everyone who's there in this campaign has a desire, and in some way will be volunteering to make sure things are taken care of. With the grace of Allah, the passage of time, I can only talk about the USA, and I've seen how the Jalsa has not only increased in size over the years, but our sophistication has improved, our behavior of service to each other and to mankind has improved, and it is showing all around. It is showing all around. So we need to thank Allah for that, and we do thank Him, and we celebrate Masih Maud message. And may His mercy and His grace stay with us, and we continue this tradition going forward. The numbers this year are much more than last year, and I'll come to that afterwards. Numbers, I mean the people who are attending class. The thing is to see how each person can volunteer and listen to the message and follow the message that Khalifatul Masih Khamis sent to us at the beginning of the Jalsa. He prayed for the Jalsa, he prayed for all of you, and we need to see what we can do to follow those directions and those illustrations, listen to the MTA, among others, and pay attention to what Hazrat Sahib is saying, pay attention to what, through your representation, the Shura has decided every year, and we need to follow that, otherwise it's an empty exercise. I know sometimes people feel passionate that certain things are not being done and they get emotional about it. That is fine. But the fact is, we need to stay on track. If we do not follow all the decisions in the way that a given individual feels we should. We respect that individual's feelings and expressions, but believe me, everyone is trying to get things done the way they are laid out. One of the things that Huzur has mentioned is that we should read the writings of Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam, and we should make that a part of the conversation in our homes. Now, how we do it, he has not specified. I think that's not possible, because every individual is going to do it his or her own way. It's very simple if you just approach and try to do it. There's stuff in English, there's plenty of it. You don't need a translation. If you know Urdu, then the Urdu literature is there, and that obviously is the original, and we should try to follow that. And I'm amazed at, I did say that the example of Hafiz Mubarak Tokoi Sahib from Chicago, that at his mature age, he has chosen to adopt a career in medicine, and I can tell you that's a grueling experience. There are so many young people I keep on coming across who cannot take the thought of working that hard, and they walk away from it. But he has chosen to follow that, and my understanding is he is a Hafiz of Quran, so that goes without saying. But he has done a lot of ibadah, and Allah has shown him the way, and he has achieved it. Now, why I'm repeating it right now is that he can learn medicine at that age. Surely, a lot of us can learn how to understand the writings of Masih Maud al-Islam. I'm talking about the original as well. And although most of the older members, they know Urdu language already, and they love to read it, they just have to make an effort to read it and then talk about it at the dinner table, or over a cup of tea, or however the social environment in your homes allows it to be. But even the youngsters, they can learn Urdu. It's not that impossible. The expression that the Jamaats, quote unquote, should conduct, classes so that the youngsters will learn Urdu is a pipe dream. I'm not saying it should be done, but the reality is you can't do it. This has to be individual inspiration, and I'm talking about it from the practical point of view. You can institute the program, but to have children or young men or women to come to those programs with a regularity that they will benefit from that is well nigh impossible in the reality of the life as you live here in the USA. But if there are individuals who take it as a challenge and seek out the ways how to learn it, it can be done. It will take time, but it can be done. But there's a need to have that determination. And whatever the process is, everybody who is involved will, inshallah, get the blessings of Allah, because you will be reading, talking about the writings of Masih Maud al-Islam. As I bring this to a close, part of the close, the ending, is a part of the beginning and the conduct of Jalsa. It goes with its own blessings. We will be shortly raising our hands in prayers, and we need to remember all the volunteers who are doing the work for the Jalsa, because they have done a lot. We are aware of the Langar Khana and some other things, but believe me, moving the chairs, setting this thing up, that up, there are some hired people, but by and large it is done by volunteers. Setting up the bookstall, making sure everybody is addressed politely and guided to the right place. To the children who are trying to distribute water and pick up the bottles so they don't litter, they don't create a litter. All these things, they are part of the volunteer work. These are all our own family, brothers, sisters, and children. And we need to pray for them. We must pray for them. That Allah bring blessings to all of them. I also want to emphasize that we do keep in mind prayers for our missionaries. There are missionaries that we know about what work they are doing, the one others we don't know. They are making their share of sacrifices the way they can do best. And we are grateful for that to them and to others. I also want to remind that we need to pray for the volunteers who go and work all around the year in the local Jamaats. And right now, I still need to mention those who are volunteering for Tabligh work in Mexico. They are doing it because Hazrat Sahib had asked us not to stay just in Merida, but to go out and spread the work and organize it more. And it needs manpower. And although he will send more missionaries, we are hoping it will happen soon. But the fact remains, you can't have enough missionaries. We need volunteers. So anybody who can spare a week or two, and as I said before, if you don't know Spanish, you will learn it. So keep that in mind and see what anybody can do. And the team which is running that, I'm talking about the Waqf-e Arzi, is under the direction of Dr. Zahiruddin, who is our National Secretary for Waqf-e Arzi. But he has assigned by agreement this task to Wasim Malik Sahib, who is Naib Amir in San Jose, and to Wasim Rahmatullah Sahib, who is Naib Amir from Cleveland. So please get in touch with them. And they are working together as a team, and they will coordinate whatever needs to get coordinated. Whatever questions you have, we are very happy to answer them for you. With that, I'm going to ask you to raise your hands in prayers, and there are one of your announcements I'll make them afterwards. Please join me in silence.